right, when you hear that, you know it's 2:05 on a Sunday and we're alive and ready for Ultimate Health, your ultimate guide to healthy living. This and every Sunday, 2:05, with me, Nortey by nature. 20th of August already. Yesterday was the birthday of the CEO of the Leicester Hospital, Dr. Edem Hiaje. Let me say Afi o Afi. Great guy, great institution, great leadership. I guess when it comes to Leicester, he reigns, huh? But let me take this one from Estelle Safua and Joe Metal. He reigns. They can stay. Estelle Safua, he reigns.
You reign forever.
Most definitely only on Joy99.7 FM. Alrighty, we continue our lessons on breastfeeding. My SWAT team for the Kolibu Teaching Hospital are here. Felicia Amankwa is
another OPK classic.
Senior Midwifery Officer. Constance Odonko, Principal Midwifery Officer. And Goldfield Azuma is a registered dietitian, all of them with the Kolibu Teaching Hospital. Last week, we learned quite a bit about breastfeeding, the benefits for the baby, the encouragement and the policy for 6 months exclusive breastfeeding, and you rained on us, yes, your challenges, baby is not getting enough, the need to supplement with formula. So today we continue. We'll get to understand the appropriate, desired, recommended positions for breastfeeding. When you're not doing it right, you get tired. You may think baby is tired or full, and many other things. If you have any questions, concerns, WhatsApp is 055 11 11 997. And we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, most welcome.
Thank you.
Right, you look very bright, huh? I need to get some of these t-shirts. Even the gentleman who doesn't have the breast, it looks good. I can see the theme and everything. And we've been focusing. The theme this year focuses on enabling breastfeeding amongst working women. Today we'll go into the do's and don'ts of breastfeeding, but we'll transplant all that and put it within the context of the workplace, right? Our labor law, I think 2003 Act 651, gives the pregnant woman, the right to a minimum of 12 weeks maternity leave, right? 12 weeks, right? And that means that the 6 months is somewhat challenged by our policy. So she will have to reintegrate into the workplace whilst a nursing mother. We'll look at those challenges and how your employer and indeed your workplace can facilitate the attainment of this target of 6 months exclusive breastfeeding. We'll look at your challenges. When do you introduce formula? What does it do? What doesn't it do? All that. If you have any questions, WhatsApp is 055 11 11 997. So let me start with you, Felicia. Today you brought is that a real baby or a baby doll?
Baby doll.
Baby doll. I remember as kids, my mom's a retired midwife. So went to school, grew up in Kolebu. And the military training school was where we hung out after school from New Hope, right? And they had all these dolls and actually life-size pregnant women, which you could take apart. So we could go there and misbehave until we got into trouble. So, but let's recap. So after delivery, a woman is expected to have already produced breast milk, right?
Yeah.
And should be ready to breastfeed her child. And hopefully her child should also learn this new source of nutrition.
Yes.
Now that they are off the umbilical cord, placenta, and all that taken away, now the child has to feed, right? We mentioned that some women have challenges with this, right? Why is that? Is it something from the baby? Is it something from the woman? Why does this occur?
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon to your listeners also. I want to say that these challenges begin right from birth. As we started last week, right from delivery, we put baby to breast by supporting the mother to establish lactation. But then, still some people have this challenge because when they are breastfeeding, it has to do with the position and attachments as we are going to demonstrate. But they assume baby should latch onto the nipple immediately. But then mothers should know that the baby is now learning. It's a process. So you need to have time for the baby to be able to learn to adapt to the new change of environment that the baby finds himself. So with the position and attachment, when you are breastfeeding the baby, don't force the nipple into the mouth of the baby. When you force the nipple into the mouth of the baby, then the baby will not also take it. Baby will also cry and be confused. So you tease the baby's mouth with the nipple, and the baby will latch onto the nipple, and then with the correct position and attachment, it will be done well. So I had a scenario, please. I had a mother who said, I am not having enough breast milk. This is a primate, somebody who has not delivered before. So with the correct positioning and attachment, the mother was able to produce the breast milk. So it goes way from delivery and then back to understanding yourselves, being comfortable and knowing that it's a new thing that the baby is learning. So you need to be patient with the baby.
Right, patience and preventing the buildup of anxiety and frustration. Right, especially if you're a new mother. Is it a programmed, preloaded software for the child to suckle and accept the nipple, Constance? I mean, you tease the mouth, right, of the baby with the nipple, and from what Felicia says, the baby will accept it. But isn't that supposed to be programmed and of survival value? I'm just trying to understand. Isn't this preloaded divine software that a baby would accept the nipple?
Right, okay. Thank you, and good afternoon to your listeners and viewers. As Felicia said earlier on, right from pregnancy all the way to delivery. Fortunately, when the baby is delivered, the amniotic fluid around the baby's arms, we always advise that mothers or health workers should not clean the amniotic fluid. This is because the sense of the amniotic fluid also has like the nipple, so the baby will draw closer to the breast, gradual.
Okay. Right.
So the amniotic fluid plays a vital role right after delivery, where we do the skin to skin, and the baby will draw closer to the nipple.
So you're
because
not wiping the baby
we
dry?
are not wiping the baby's hands.
Okay.
Because the amniotic fluid, as I said earlier on, plays a significant role.
Okay.
That said, the baby will draw closer to the breast gradually without any help.
Okay.
Yes, so it is important. So right away, the baby will draw closer to the nipple because of the saints and gradually latch on it. That is when the health personnel will support the baby to the breast.
Okay.
And then gradual suckling would initiate the release of the hormone.
Okay.
That is the oxytocin.
Right.
And then the prolactin. Because when after delivery, certain hormones like the estrogen decreases, and then the prolactin level and then oxytocin would increase. So the more the baby suckles at the breast, the more the release of the prolactin, production of the milk, and then the oxytocin also help the uterus to contract. So it's going to do various activities.
Right.
And then the baby will latch on the breast with the support of the health personnel.
Okay. And the sooner the better. After delivery,
Exactly.
Yes.
that skin-to-skin contact,
Contact.
mother and baby, and putting the baby to breast. Appropriately, right, would, should I say, activate all this preloaded software
Yes.
and neurochemical messengers that make this happen. Okay.
Yes.
So in a sense, God has done most of it already to guarantee the survival and the thriving of this baby, right? And the shift from should I say downloaded Wi-Fi related food and nutrients to now this active process of suckling and breastfeeding. Okay, so typically this should happen normally.
Yes.
All right. Last week, a lot of our listeners talked about this, and let's quickly talk about attaching the baby to the breast. Okay, and a few of the positions, and then we'll go into some of the complications, and then we'll arrive at this workplace enablement or facilitation. So, how do you position? We've seen videos. Sometimes mother is lying down on her side. Sometimes she's sitting. Sometimes it looks as if the baby is being passed or positioned from behind, right? And so many others. What is the appropriate or most effective or recommended position?
So we'll demonstrate.
Okay. So those of you online, Felicia has a little baby doll, right? And so they'll attempt to demonstrate this. If you're just listening to radio, you lose out on the visual. So yeah, how do you position the child? And if you can be talking as she does it.
Right, okay. So with the positions, we say all the mother, she's supposed to get the chair with the back support. There are various positions. You can either lie down or sit.
So the first one is with a sitting position.
With the sitting position.
With a chair with a back support.
With a back support. This is because when you do that, you know, the spine, most mothers bend. So you put pressure on the spine.
Okay.
And when it happens like that, because of the pain, you will not be comfortable to feed the baby. And people will latch on the nipple. So gradual latching will lead to sore nipple. So we want you to avoid those complications or those challenges. So get a chair with a back support, relax the back, and then you pull the baby in between the arm this way.
Right.
And then the baby's buttocks will lie in between your arm.
Okay.
Baby will be closer to the mother.
Okay.
As if somebody's taking your baby away from you. You don't want to give the baby to them.
So let me just try and explain. So she's got the baby, right, on her left-hand side. She's supporting the baby with her left hand, right? Baby's head is just about around the elbow area.
Exactly.
A little bit upwards towards the shoulder, okay?
Sure.
And she's holding the baby to her breast, okay? Her hand is supporting the baby's backside or buttocks, right? Right, and she's upright.
Yes.
Okay.
Then she's going to use, we're going to talk about attachment. She's going to use one of the arm.
Right.
So 4 fingers beneath the breast.
Okay.
And then the thumb on it. We are concentrating on the areola, the black spot.
Okay.
So when you do that, sometimes the baby would open the mouth wide.
Okay.
The instance the baby's mouth is still closed, you can use the nipple to tickle the baby's cheeks. The baby will open the mouth wide, and then there'll be more. Gradually, you will let the baby quickly put baby to breast.
Okay.
Indicating that there's more areola above than below. There are some mothers realize that the areola is a bit smaller, so everything will go in, it is fine. But those with
slow down, being the dark area around the nipple.
Around the nipple, that is where the
So this is actually the runway.
Yes.
So you're not getting the baby to put its mouth on the nipple itself,
No.
but to take the whole area surrounding the nipple into its mouth. And you're saying you should be able to see some of the areola or the dark area above the baby's upper lip.
Exactly,
Okay.
upper lip.
Right.
Then, good. So when you are done, the baby's chin should be closer to the mother's breast.
Okay.
If it's away, probably some baby sucking the nipple is high.
Okay.
So the chin should be closer to the mother's breast.
Okay.
And then in that comfortable position, you are going to put just your thumb finger a bit away from the areola, and baby will suck without any difficulty.
So mother is holding the left breast with the right hand.
Yes.
And supporting the breast, whilst the left hand is supporting the child.
The child, exactly.
Right? And keeping it to the breast.
To the breast.
Okay.
Yes. So when you do this, there will not be any pain. Mother will be comfortable and breastfeed the baby. And there's no time for breastfeeding. Baby is going to suckle at the breast until realize that baby is satisfied.
Okay.
These are some of the signs.
Okay.
The baby will take the breast out of the mouth and realize that the mother's breast will feel lighter. These are the signs that baby is satisfied.
Okay.
Also, baby will be what? Calm on the breast, not irritable.
Right.
Yes, so there's no time limit.
Okay.
These are the signs that baby is getting the breast milk.
Okay.
When you are done, assuming baby slips off or takes the breast out of the mouth, you need to pat the baby's back, break the wind. When they are feeding, they trap air.
Okay. So they are swallowing milk and air.
Yes. So
Right.
you need to pat the baby's
You
back.
get the baby to
break,
burp.
Yes, burp.
Right.
Burp the baby before you move to the next breast. But assuming baby is satisfied on this breast, that should be fine. So your next feed, you should put the baby to the other breast.
Okay. This is the mother upright.
Yes.
Okay. So if the posture or the positioning of the mother and the way she holds the baby is not adequate, she'll get tired. She'll feel pain.
Yeah.
The baby might not latch on to the breast. Folks, listen, no, this is not, you're not suckling directly onto the nipple. Okay, assumption is this is not a baby with sharp teeth, right? No teeth. No teeth. No teeth at this point.
Yes, please.
All right. So how long will it take a typical baby? I'm saying typical. Some are very, 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 very aggressive and whatnot. But to empty a mother's breast or to indicate that it is full, and what would you see? You're saying baby will be comfortable, not irritated, sucking, right?
Yeah.
But how do you know when the baby is full?
Right. Okay. So I spoke about the signs earlier on.
Okay.
Yes. So there's no time limit. How would you know? Baby will become on the breast after feeding for some minutes. I
Right.
don't want to specify the exact because there's no time limit.
Right.
But you would obviously see that baby is calm on the breast. Baby is satisfied. Okay. So baby will not be irritable. Baby was irritable when you pick the baby.
Okay.
The breast feels lighter. Maybe the first breast you give me, the left breast, you realize that it's a bit filled with breast milk.
Right.
But currently it is lighter. And baby is also calm on the breast. You are trying to even give the baby the breast milk. Baby is not taking
Right.
it. Yes.
It's an
These are the
indication
critical
that baby
phase.
is okay.
You don't want to give time limits because
Right.
there's no time.
Okay. And you said there's no fixed time or interval. You feed baby on demand.
On demand.
How does baby demand?
Okay, so within the first few weeks of delivery, mothers should give their babies between 2 to 3 hour feed.
Okay.
Every 2 to 3 hours,
Okay.
wake baby up to feed.
All right.
Yes, so you're looking at about 8 to 9 times within 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. If you've just joined us, this is Ultimate Health on Joy 99.7 FM. The program is Ultimate Health. We're talking about breastfeeding. Last week and a half was World Breastfeeding Week, and we engaged guests from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to talk about breastfeeding, the appropriate, effective mode for breastfeeding, and also to relate this to mothers who have to return, right, to the workplace and continue to, should I say, adhere to exclusive breastfeeding. We told and we learned last week all the goodies in the breast milk. It is a fully comprehensive and nutritious formula, right? Downloaded from above. Mother produces it, and if mother has been healthy, all things being equal, she will produce adequate quantities. Last week we heard from a lot of our listeners there are challenges with quantity, and therefore they feel the need, the urge, and the compulsion to supplement with formula. So I have two midwives in the studio, and I have a dietitian. Well, I'll switch to him in a second, right? But so this is one of the, and probably the most common.
Common, but we have other positions as well.
Right. Can we just quickly do one more?
Okay.
Because these are things that I believe people can download or search for on their phones and understand. So now she's turning the baby, and the baby's feet are behind her.
Yeah.
Head is coming from behind her left, all right? It could be her right, but on this example, from her left, and then baby's head is held to the nipple, the breast, by the mother's left hand. Left breast, left hand.
Right.
So it's almost as if baby crawled from behind mommy.
Yes.
Is being passed, all right?
It's called the football hold or the
Football,
underarm.
some say rugby, underarm.
Underarm.
Okay? Right. So what's the advantage? She's still sitting in a chair with adequate back support, but the baby is coming from behind her, and her head, or the baby's head, is held to the breast. Okay, supporting the breast that is being used for breastfeeding with the opposite arm, in this case the right arm. Okay, any comments on this or its advantages?
Okay, so with the underarm, most of the time we advocate for preterm babies or twins, because I realize that with that one it's more comfortable.
Okay.
With the position you can
So
hold
you can
both
actually have two
twins.
babies
Yes.
and
Underarm
hold
sacking with
them.
pillow supported.
Wow.
Yes. With assistance, it is doable.
Okay.
And they latch well with
All right.
assistance. Yes.
Okay.
And then also, a first time, it's more comfortable. Because I realize
Right.
that you can really see your baby. It creates more bonding.
Right.
And then you can confidently feed your baby with this particular position.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. I'm starting to feel sorry for the mothers. Though it's a joy, right? I'm seeing a woman sitting maybe with two babies.
Yeah.
Okay. I do not even want to think about three. Right? And who will wait? Right? But you're saying the woman is designed for this.
Yes.
Right? It shouldn't harm her. And if she positions and latches the baby
We are good
appropriately,
to go. Yeah.
we're good to go.
We are good to go.
All right. Okay, nobody's going to put taxes on
Unfortunately,
breast milk like
yes, there's more milk
like
production. There's
Right.
more milk production.
Right.
You know, the more the baby suckles, the more the milk flows. So if
Okay.
two are sucking, definitely there'll be more milk production. With assistance and the
Okay.
support, we are
You,
good
you
to
can't
go.
have baby on one side and daddy on the other.
No,
To stimulate production.
it's for the babies.
Right, folks, if you just joined us, this is Ultimate Health on Joy 99.7 FM. We're trying, especially for the benefit of those online who can see, to demonstrate some of the positions that will guarantee that your baby gets the appropriate feed at the appropriate times and in a safe, comfortable manner or mode for both mother and baby. The comfort of mother and baby is, should I say, a pillar in all of this. If any of them get fatigued, there are going to be challenges, and the feeding we are talking about will be compromised. Any questions, concerns, WhatsApp is 055 11 11 997. So, Goldfield, you're looking at the women. You don't have the equipment, okay? Neither can you download them. You can identify as a woman, right? But coming to feeding baby, doing it appropriately, mother producing the breast milk. Last week we had challenges, and I'll come to you because many of our listeners shared with us that, well, they don't think baby is getting enough, right? The filling station is empty, and therefore the need to resort to supplementary feeding with formula, okay, which in a sense breaks this exclusive breastfeeding target, right? How should this be, should I say, evaluated first, and then how should the decision to include formula or supplementary feeding be handled?
All right. So, formula is only introduced when it's medically indicated.
Oh,
Yes, medically indicated.
almost sounds like on prescription.
Yes, please.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
if you have any challenges with breastfeeding, that means if you've started breastfeeding and along the way you have challenges with breastfeeding,
Okay.
you would have to visit your healthcare facility,
Okay.
and it should be medically indicated,
Right.
because you might rush to formula when there is other solutions to your difficulty in breastfeeding.
Okay. So your difficulty in breastfeeding could be a medical complication and needs to be evaluated and assessed by those who have the requisite skill.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Right. So you don't decide.
No, because if you should decide, formula is also made for different stages.
Okay.
So you don't walk into any place and just go and
So what
buy.
you're suggesting is that
any-
there are different types of formula
Yes.
for different stages of development of the child.
Yes,
The
please.
same way that the mother's milk changes, right, to meet the developmental needs of the child.
Yes.
Okay, so you're not just going and looking at what is on the shelf, purchasing it, and then adding it to the formula or the system.
Yes.
So it must be medically
Indicated.
or professionally advised.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay, continue.
Yes. So in that circumstance, the medical professional, after the assessment, and comes to the conclusion that maybe due to certain reasons,
Okay.
you'll not be able to meet the breastfeeding demands of your baby.
Okay.
Then the medical professional can prescribe the appropriate
Okay.
one and show you how to use it,
Right.
frequency, quantity, and then the choice
All right.
of the formula.
Okay.
But like we always say and we always advocate for, breast milk first.
Okay. Right. So the default is breast milk exclusive, right?
Yes.
Should in case therefore because of that, no, there's a problem, consult qualified personnel
Yes.
to advise you before you make a switch or a change
Yes.
or a supplementation
Yes.
to the baby's feeding. Okay, you're the dietitian. Let me ask you. So, what's in formula? Is it the way women wear foreign hair? It's still hair, right? I'm tempted to believe that the formula is still milk.
Yes.
Okay, what milk? Which milk? What's in it?
Every company and the kind of milk they come up with.
Okay,
Yes. There are different, especially the different types of protein that makes up the milk.
okay, right.
Okay.
But it's milk.
Yes.
Is it cow's milk? Is it what is it? Is it powdered milk? Is it synthetic milk? Can we give a general description of what a formula should?
Most advertise that is cow milk.
Okay.
Yes. But then they try and enhance it
Okay.
to look, or the formula should look like that of breast milk.
Okay.
So they supplement it, they add a few things, they remove a few things.
Okay.
And it has grown over the years.
Right.
I mean, from the time breast milk substitute started,
Okay.
20th century,
Okay.
to its development, every year, every time, they are still working on it to look or to come as close as the breast milk should be.
Okie dokie. So did it start, or the introduction of breast milk, did it start with these challenges we are talking about, inadequacy and challenges of the mother breastfeeding or producing breast milk, or did it start that way and then pick up because the roles of women have changed and the demands of work and other things have, should I say, interfered with what should naturally be, and therefore triggered the activation of this whole industry that now produces breast milk? Which was first, the chicken or the egg?
So it first started with, back in the days when we were not medically advanced,
Right.
there were a lot of maternal mortalities.
Okay.
And in such situations, they had to rely on a mother who was willing to breastfeed two babies at the same time.
Okay.
With like breastfeed another person's baby. Then,
Okay. Right.
so I mean, because of that adversity, then people begin to think that what should we do?
How can we
How
supplement
can we
this?
help? At first, they started with the normal cow milk we all know,
Okay.
and they realized that there are a lot of complications that come with it.
Right.
So the scientists went into the lab,
So over time, it's been enhanced to meet these needs.
Yes, but as the world developed, industrialization came into being, and people started working. Now, women were asked to come into the workforce because the men were out fighting wars.
Okay.
Then they saw that, okay, we can also give it to working mothers.
Right.
And then,
Okay.
as time went on,
All right.
demand increased.
Great. 35 minutes past the hour of 2 on Joy 99.7 FM. It's important to underscore the antecedents of the introduction of formula. All right? The natural software is what we are recommended. Okay? Exclusive for the first 6 months. It gives the baby everything they need to trigger and facilitate and promote and secure their 360 degrees development comprehensively. Okay? Should you have challenges with that, we are just hearing from my guests that this should be evaluated by the midwife or the professional or your pediatrician or whoever, right? They should do that determination and then point you in the right direction for the right supplementary formula for your baby. If you have any questions, concerns, phone line is active 030-221-6541. 030-221-6541, right? So these are some of the challenges. We were not bashing or should I say excluding formula, but it must have a proper premise and place within your baby's feeding. 030-221-6541. Ultimate Health on Joy 99.7 FM. Dede in Maryland said, I've seen hawkers and market women with all kinds of gymnastics in feeding their babies. Some with the baby almost tied to the side with a cloth and suckling. I guess this is a reference to the feeding positions, yes. Right? Somebody is selling wache and there's a baby clinging onto the nipple, if not the breast, for dear life. Service continues, right? In all sorts of conditions. Let me come back to the midwives. So in these conditions, okay, we're talking about workplace. I sell wache or kinky. That's my workplace, right? We've talked about hygiene. How do these things challenge the development of your baby and their continued acceptance of breast milk and indeed the breast, right? Mami Talia, any this, that, and then you are moving, you are wiping a leaf or what do they say, pack, right? How do these challenge and or introduce challenges for breastfeeding and its exclusivity?
Okay, looking at these challenges, I would say it begins from the antenatal period.
Okay.
So looking at such people, excuse me to say, they normally don't come for the antenatal clinics.
They are in the informal center.
I
sell Kobe at Jufojrano, right? Yes. That's what I do. That's my workplace. Okay. So how do I handle these things?
Yes, so like I said, they don't normally come for the antenatal clinic where we have the mothercraft school, teach them positioning and then attachment.
Okay.
So when they deliver, they do not have any idea about how to even position and attach their babies.
Okay.
So it is our responsibility as midwives
to reach out
to them and ensure that when they deliver, before they are being discharged, we will teach them the right thing, how to position their babies, the importance of breast milk, make it known to them.
Okay.
I think when they are aware of all these things, they will know what to do. But looking at the economic situation, she feels like staying home to do that. She wouldn't get money even to buy diaper or anything for the baby.
Right.
So she'll go all out.
Right.
And then looking at the hygiene perspective and other things, washing of hands and things. So at the end of the day, the baby will fall sick because you are introducing bacteria into the baby. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You could be at the roadside. There's dust. There's this and that. You yank out your breast and you're breastfeeding. Child has no choice, right? Yes. Reflex. And maybe typically that child would not even be introduced to any formula and things like that. Okay. Just quickly, I want just a quick comment on this. Keeping your breast to yourself, the hygiene. What should you be doing to the breast? Should you be using sanitizer, wiping it? Should you be washing it with soap? What should you be doing as a nursing mother? Constance.
Okay. Right. So as a nursing mother, the advice is to avoid using certain chemicals on the breast.
Okay.
The normal bathing is fine.
Right.
Yeah, when you do that, as I said earlier on, the breast itself, the nipple, unfortunately, the baby get closer to the nipple because of the scent. Yes. So if you try and then change the normal flora, the normal environment of the nipple, unfortunately, you yourself will be subject to infection.
Okay.
So then do not put chemicals and all that on the breast.
Okay.
Fortunately, it's ever ready battery.
Wow.
It is ready to, baby
You don't
to
have
latch
to
on.
do anything.
No. There's no need
The
using
feeding itself
compulsions
will
and all that.
lubricate the
No,
area.
not at
So you
all.
shouldn't get dry, cracked, painful nipples if all this is going well.
Yes. So with positions, proper position attachments,
Right.
don't have issues with cracked nipple, sore nipple, and all that.
Wow.
Yes. So no need to use chemicals on the breast nipple and all that. Yes.
Okie dokie. You
You
just
change
joined
the
us.
normal environment as well.
Right. If you just joined us, you're on Joy 99.7 FM. We're continuing our education on breastfeeding with the emphasis on exclusive 6 months, first 6 months breastfeeding only. It's sufficient, adequate, comprehensive. Okay. We've introduced the challenge of supplementary milk by way of formula. And my guess, we're now looking at some of the challenges, right? So this is what we're trying to get you to understand. If you have any questions, WhatsApp 055 11 11 997. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. And the phone line 030-221-6541. You can get in to speak to Felicia Amankwa. She's a senior midwifery officer. Constance Odonko is a principal midwifery officer. And Goldfield Azuma is a registered dietitian, all of them coming from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to join us in the studio to educate you. Okay, so we've understood that, all right? It sounds pretty simple, but you all underscore that some training, some learning is required, okay? Of course, there are aunties, grannies, older sisters, and accidental lecturers who are telling you what to do. There's informal knowledge or training as well, right? When you call us, tell us how you learned, who taught you, YouTube, mama, or accidentally. You learned because you got pregnant very early and you didn't know anything, but hey, you had a baby and you had engorged breasts and you knew where to put the baby and something was happening, and as far as you're concerned, you did the right thing, right? Share with us. This one says, good afternoon, Nortey. Please, how are you and your noble people? Please, is it good for a mother to be walking and breastfeeding a baby? I knew this came from a man. Hayford in Bato, right? Probably because he's seeing women doing it, right? Some are, as they say, driving banku or pushing banku, and they've got a baby attached somehow. Is it okay?
Okay. Well, it's not advisable to be walking and breastfeeding. This is because probability of the feed going to the baby's legs is very high because you are busy doing something and baby is also sucking. You are in a haste. So we call something aspiration. The baby will aspirate.
Right.
Yes. So you need to calm down and feed
Which
your
means
baby.
the milk has gone down the wrong way.
Exactly.
Right.
So
it's not advisable.
the proper way is for you to be
Mother should be stationary.
Stationary. That's the
sitting
ideal.
or lying,
Yes.
and feeding the baby.
Feeding the baby.
So it means make space and time to feed your child.
Yes.
Right? Don't put or integrate your child's feeding into other things you're doing. Which brings us nicely to work, activity, right? The law says, give me 12 months. 12 weeks, sorry.
Yes.
Okay? And the law says, I am required, and folks get this clearly and with clarity, I am required to provide medical information and certification that I'm pregnant and I'm due on X date. My 12 weeks will be calculated on that basis and on provision of the evidence, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so that activates the 12 weeks for me. We are encouraging first 6 months exclusive breast milk only, which means that by the time I return to work, I will still be, in quotes, a nursing mother. The law also protects and provides that during that period I have returned to work and I am classified as a nursing mother, I can interrupt work for at least an hour to see to my nursing child's needs, including breastfeeding. Now, folks, this is all in the labor law, okay? Yes. It doesn't have any provision for paternity, leave. Okay, so the woman is supposed to be given the space and facilitated to see to the needs of the child. What is the situation currently in Ghana generally? Okay, I know there are some ideal workplaces where all this is made to happen, but just let's look at the general picture. Constance.
Right, okay. So that brings us to the team that is enabling breastfeeding.
Enabling
breastfeeding.
Right.
Making a difference for working mothers. Unfortunately, it's sad that most of our employers or institutions do not have places or, as I said, policies to enable mothers be able to, express their milk and even feed their babies. So we're advocating, the BHO is advocating that institutions and policymakers should kindly do well and bring legislation on board so that the place should be the working environment should be conducive. And we should even have childcare,
right,
whereby when the mother is even resuming to work, she feel comfortable to resume to work. She can even feed her baby, or a breastfeeding area where she can go and breastfeed her baby.
So this, right, entails bringing your baby to the workplace. And the labor law protects your right to interrupt work.
Yes.
To have 12 weeks away, come back, all paid.
All paid.
It's not part of your annual leave, right?
Yeah.
Now you're saying when you come back to work, there ideally should be provision for you to have your child at work, at the workplace, or nearby.
Yes.
Right? In a safe place.
Yeah.
And then for you to break and go and feed this baby appropriately, therefore maintaining the exclusivity for the period, right? Or make sure that you have provision to express the milk and keep it.
Yes.
So what should the employer provide?
Right. So the employer could or should provide a breastfeeding area, as I said, whereby there will even be fridges in the freezers to store the breast milk.
I bet you could go and look around Joy FM. I know we have an eating place, all sorts of Awusa Coco, Wache, all sorts of industrial degrees or levels of wele and other things flying around. Breast milk in a fridge.
Yes.
Right.
We can express the breast milk in the fridge, and in the fridge it is safe.
Right.
We even brought some breast milk.
These are the pouches.
Storage containers.
Storage.
Yes.
Right.
So it is safe to express the breast milk in the fridge. You write your name, date you express, and the time you express. So then, if there is somebody who has been employed to care for your, the babies, the elderly, it is safe. So even at home, before you resume work, you can also equally store the breast milk in the fridge and the freezer.
Right.
In the fridge, it can take between 4 to 5 days.
So this looks like a sealable plastic pouch.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see any nipple on it. I don't see. So when you express successfully and you've put it away, how are you supposed to use it? You put a straw in it? What do you do?
Okay, so for instance, assuming you would want to use it within 4 days. So depending on the quantity. Okay. Maybe you're supposed to give your baby 40 mils of breast milk when you resume. Whoever is going to take care of the baby will do that. So you take the first one out. So you are going to practice what they call FIFO. FIFO means first in, first out. So the first one you express
is the one you should use.
Yes. Okay. So then you don't bring everything out because the temperature. And do not store the breast milk on, the door handle of the fridge. It should be at the back of the fridge.
The back of the main fridge, not the freezer.
No.
Okay.
Or the freezer. And then the shelf should be only for breast milk storage. Don't add your consomme, your foodstuffs on the same shelf.
Okay.
It's supposed to be just the breast milk that you are going to store there. And likewise, in the freezer, it can take for about 6 to 12 months.
Coming back to the workplace. Yeah. So the employer should have a fridge, right?
Yes.
Yeah. A shelf or a compartment should be designated for the expressed milk of nursing mothers.
Yes.
Right? Nothing else there, right?
And when it happens like that, we should have shown that it reduces absenteeism at work. Okay. And then you, the employer, that's what productivity, because everybody is at work. Okay. Yes. There will not be excuses whatsoever.
Okay. We have about 10 minutes to go. This one says, "Good afternoon, great team. What is the impact on and an individual who, per some circumstance, had little or no breast milk at all during childhood. And can one make up for this impact if it's negative, right? The person has written, please don't laugh. And you guys are laughing already. Let's stay focused. Can one make up for this deficiency in adulthood? In brackets, please don't laugh. Great work, Nortey by Nature, from Eric Agbozo, Dapu NGO in Krakan near Kufredria. So I didn't get all this God-given nourishment. All right, I've grown up. Eric is asking, can I catch up? Can I find somebody for my arrears and go claim? Should I be eating something in particular? Does it damage me first and foremost?
Yes. So there are some disadvantages to not being breastfed or having exclusive breastfeeding. But as when you grow older, if those disadvantages are beginning to show in you, when you go to a medical professional, if there are deficiencies that can be corrected, some can't be corrected.
Like what? What was wrong with me?
Like stunting.
Stunted growth.
Yes.
So I'm not thriving the way I should. And this comes to weighing and all that. You're actually measuring the growth and development of the child.
Yes.
Okay. And you're saying that could be retarded or delayed.
Yes.
Because you were not breastfed.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. So if lucky enough it's being found during your weighing time, and it's after 6 months, health workers, especially nutritionists and dietitians, can step in and boost that nutrition intake.
Right.
But as you grow older, some of those
why I stunted for life?
They are irreversible.
Okay.
Yes. That is why we are promoting that you should do it now. But if you grow as an adult, if you go and take breast milk, your digestive system is now different.
Okay.
It has been exposed to a lot of different things.
You are drinking club beer, then you want to go and add breast milk because your mother owes you.
So if you have those nutritional related deficiencies, you can see a nutritionist or a dietitian, and they can help correct some of those deficiencies
without introducing
breast milk.
Or breast milk.
Yes, please.
Okay, Eric, I hope you're okay and you are not going to latch on to anybody's in an attempt at adult compensation. Okay, so in the workplace again, what would you say to women who say, hey, my workplace, even common, regular, appropriate furniture is a challenge. Is there a fridge? What and what? What do you do? Last week, I got into an WhatsApp exchange with somebody who said, hey, I had to give up my work. Right? Now, the law says you cannot be dismissed, discriminated against on account of pregnancy, breastfeeding, and related things. Okay, so you go for your 12 weeks for some reason, and if you need to extend the 12 weeks, you still need to provide the medical evidence and reasons. Okay, for it to be considered an extension of your maternity leave, right? Otherwise, you are going to grab that from your annual leave. Okay, but some people tell us that when they have challenges, they're trying to integrate this into the workplace and so on and so forth, the employers find an excuse, screensaver excuse, to let you go. Or the conditions are so harsh and unconducive that you have no alternative but to leave or resign. What do you say to such people? Is there any remedy for them within law or labor law? I know you are midwifery, you are health personnel, but what should they do? You're speaking nicely on my program, promoting, advocating, but it's not happening at my workplace. Sorry, didn't, wouldn't, couldn't, right? What should I do, right? I'm the one with the biological apparatus. I'm the one supposed to feed this child I brought into the world. There are factors mediating or mitigating this. What do I do? In my frustration, I only see one way out: lose your job.
Yes. So, so far as you know that the termination of your contract or employment was because you were breastfeeding, then you need to. There are different NGOs that are available that help women with such circumstances
to secure their rights.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can visit any of these NGOs.
Okay.
And then they would look at the terms and conditions of your work,
Right.
see where there was a breach of contract,
Okay.
and work accordingly.
Okay.
But there are also ways, since we are not in that utopia of
Right.
of an environment that can provide you with all the time you need. There are different ways of, sometimes it's not fair, but making up for this time.
Sometimes you can negotiate your
Yes.
work conditions,
Your
your
work
work
conditions.
hours. People in our part of the world are more familiar and ready to negotiate their pay. But when it comes to negotiating conditions of work, especially in this scenario, they seem not to have a clue, right? Sometimes you need to properly bring it to the notice of your employer.
Yes.
And there may be workplace accommodations and adjustments that could be made. That's one.
Yes.
Right? But most people, if it's about my salary, Charlie, I'm ready to fight. But these are also important things.
Yes.
Right. Okay, continue.
Yes. So you can split your week, your working week. If your manager can negotiate and your manager can let you work from home on certain days or do certain activities via teleworking, you can negotiate for that.
Okay.
You can, if you find out you are pregnant,
Right.
you can postpone your annual leave,
Right.
that most women do,
Okay.
to the time that they are about to deliver,
Okay.
so that they get extra working weeks.
Right.
But all this is in a threefold manner. There's the policy bit where the government comes in,
Okay.
where in other countries the reason why they can give more time and doesn't affect employers is because after this,
Okay, it's still in the pipeline. We all know the benefits. Your worker is more productive and so on and so forth. But it's still in the consultation phase. Coming back to the midwives, we have a few minutes left. I mean, I come for weighing and so on and so forth. You know me. You are monitoring me and my child's growth, and you know I've returned to work. What support can you provide and what advice can you provide? I've come for weighing. This is my wahala. Charlie, I've returned to work and Charlie, it's crazy. I've added formula because of this and that and that. I've had to recruit somebody, relative or informal, to feed my child and look after my child. It's affecting me physically and psychologically. What would you say to a woman who comes to weighing with this challenge, Constance?
Okay.
I'm
So-
trying to make sure that they don't think it's just T-shirts and a theme and then you guys go
Yeah.
away, but it's practical.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'll have to approach this woman and then listen to the issues. So that's when the counseling session comes in. Maybe
You do counseling as part of the
Yes,
postnatal.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So there are instances whereby it could be due to illness. Although she's resumed work, frustrated with work and illness, that's why she's not even producing enough breast milk.
Okay.
So based on the counseling or based on her information, that's when I'll address.
Okay.
So in that scenario, assuming that, as I said, she's resumed work and then they are challenged, I'll help her to express, I'll teach her to express the breast milk. So that is when the expression comes in and then the
Okay.
storage.
Right.
And then also based on that, whoever is supporting, I'll let her come along with maybe her caregiver, so that together I'll teach both of them.
Okay.
So we'll be able to express the breast milk, how to store it, and when to feed,
Right.
so that she'll be able to come to work wholeheartedly without having to worry about the baby.
Okay.
So it's all about being tailored based on the issue.
Is
then
the
I have to
midwife the
come
one
in.
providing this counseling? And
Yes, the
Right.
midwife provides the counseling.
provides
And
that.
then I want to appreciate the fact that she's even doing well, because you need to encourage her. If you just unfortunately,
Right.
snub her,
Okay.
she will be discouraged. So the counseling is so vital.
Okay.
And
And we're not
then-
going to. Do you ever summon or recommend that their husbands join them for postnatal?
Oh yes, we are doing male
contact?
involvement, even from all the way from the when they are pregnant, from the ANC all the way through to postnatal male involvement.
Okay.
Yes, it's
All right.
important. We do that.
Wow, we still have more work to do. We'll see how we can program to see this workplace, and I'm very, very emphatic on the informal workers, right? Very often our discussions seem to talk about those in urban centers, those who come to weighing and so on and so forth. But we'll find time to speak to the team again and look at the real strategies and the real challenges and add our weight to the advocacy to facilitate, promote, and sustain exclusive 6-month breastfeeding and then the successful integration of that into the workplace, and then shortly we'll bring you into the studio to look at the introduction of supplementary foods and supplementary feeding. So once again, thanks Felicia, Constance, and Goldfield for coming in. There's still lots of niggling questions unanswered, and we'll find a way of formatting that and emphasizing the importance of this. If we have to bring you next week, we'll do that to look at the practical things. Maybe we need to look at what takes place at weighing and postnatal clinics, because that's where we lose a lot of the women. They've won their white, they've done their pojemo and other things, and you are the last person they want to see. So we'll see if we can look and tiptoe into that area as well. Many thanks again for enriching our program. Many thanks to you, my discerning listeners. My producer, Abeku, I'm beginning to wonder if he was breastfed then. Abeku San Kofi, I'm told the sports guys are coming up immediately. There's soccer, and they love to feed on that. Even the men who are fighting over the breasts, when it comes to soccer, baby can have the boobs and the breasts. Take and stay on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Nortey by nature. I'm out. Next week, perhaps we might bring them in to look at why we're losing the women at postnatal, or why the numbers go down, and how we can partner with the families and the women to support them. Take and stay. I'm out.